Hi everybody, it's Martin from the Washboard Resonators and it's time for another guitar story. This week it's about this amazing 1937 Gibson L-50 Archtop guitar. I've owned this guitar for 10 years. Let's find out more about this. So in the autumn or the fall of 2010, me and my ex-wife, we were doing a road trip from Virginia, where our uncle lived in America, through the southern states, sort of Tennessee, the Carolinas, all those kind of areas. And I had taken some money to buy a nice guitar to bring back as kind of like a keepsake. Now at the time I was getting into kind of gypsy jazz stuff and listening to a lot of Carter family stuff. I'd never had an Archtop guitar and I'd never really had kind of a vintage acoustic guitar, and it's something I wanted for the kind of 30s and 40s kind of music that we were playing. But we drove around, we called at about 10 different guitar shops, probably on the 2-week journey. At one point we were in Knoxville because she was giving a talk at the university there. I went to the music room, which was run by a guy called Brad, and went in, and this is one of the first guitars that I saw. Picked it up, played it, and I fell in love. So I chose this guitar that day and drove away, but that day, that's the day that kind of set me off on the resonator kind of thing that I now do a lot of. So they also had a vintage National Trojan in the shop, of which I have one here, and the Trojan was about $1,200. This was about $1,700. I had a guitar with me that I'd taken over to trade, I'd flown with. So I managed to do a pretty good deal on this and it didn't cost me much in reality. But I remember driving away all through the southern states, playing this guitar by the roadside, you know, opening the car boot when we got to like a food place and just like looking at it and going, oh my goodness, I've got a real intact, completely original vintage guitar with that beautiful warm sound. And then but hankering after that resonator guitar that I'd missed out on. So we got back to Virginia where our uncle lived, and I remember emailing the guy, Brad at Music Rooms, and saying, can I get that Trojan and get it sent? But we couldn't have got it in time before we flew back to Britain. So that set me on the path of trying to find a decent resonator after that. It's called an L-50 model, and what the L-50 was a guitar that Gibson did quite a lot of these. They were quite kind of lower down the kind of order, but it was kind of the cheapest way to get a decent sort of Gibson guitar. So what we're looking at here is a fully carved top, solid top. We're looking at maple carved back and sides. It's a very good quality guitar, and I've played a few of these. They can be kind of hit and miss. This one's really nice. So you'll see there, one of the things I fell in love with was the vintage style headstock. It reminded me of a Robert Johnson picture, and I was like, oh, a guitar from about the same time that Robert Johnson was alive and looks like his. I now actually have the kind of guitar that Robert Johnson used to play, and I realise now that actually it's a slightly different headstock, but yeah, still a really cool guitar, and my first way into like a decent vintage guitar. We'll do a video about this guitar as well, so I'll pop a link so you can see about this one. So it's got a lovely, lovely sound. It's very light. If you know about guitars, what you'll know is that an Archtop is built like a violin. It changes the sound, so you get more of the kind of fundamental of the note and fewer sub and higher harmonics that you might get with like a flat top regular kind of acoustic. So they were designed to kind of cut through jazz orchestras, have a kind of clear, kind of spiky sound. But they're great country guitars, lovely kind of finger picking kind of guitars. And one of the really cool things about these kind of solid wood old guitars, people used to talk about this, and it wasn't until I got this that I realised this guitar will go to sleep. And if I pick it up and play it for maybe 20, 30, 40 minutes, honest to goodness, it comes alive, the sound gets bigger and wider. And then the next day you pick it up, it's like that. And if you don't touch it for a month and pick it up again, it sounds a little stiff, then you have to sort of warm it back up again, and it just gives you more. It's a wonderful instrument. So often guitars have an interesting story. That's just how I came by this one and what it means to me. We've done quite a few guitar stories now about some of the instruments, so I'll put some links below so you can find those other videos. And we hope if you've enjoyed this, just subscribe, like, comment. You can ask about other instruments, what you might want to see videos about. Let us know, because it really helps us know what videos to make to help you guys out there. So thank you very much, everybody. Bye for now.